Yo guys, what is up? I hope you're all doing great. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you random stuff that you probably didn't know about Poland, unless you're Polish or you are a weirdo like me and you like to look up random shit on the internet. So I'm gonna take you with me. We're gonna hang out around Warsaw today. It's a beautiful sunny day, so I'm gonna go out, show you around the city center where I live, and we're probably gonna go to the art gallery as well. It's a really cool art gallery, one of the best ones, if not the best one in Warsaw. And I'm gonna tell you things that nobody told you about Poland because, well, maybe you basically didn't need to know these things. Maybe there's a good reason why nobody told you, but well, I will tell you. I've got you. Before we leave the house, did you know that Polish surnames change depending on sex? Meaning whether you're female or male. So it's kind of like my surname is Kubicka, but my brother's or my dad's surname would be Kubicki. So the ending of surnames change depending on whether you are a woman or a man. And it might be really confusing for foreigners. For you, it might almost sound like it's like slightly different surname, but actually for us, it's really confusing when a woman has a man's surname. And that happens a lot when a Polish person is born abroad. For example, there are a lot of these like Polish American women who have been born in the States and they got the same surname as their dad. A popular Polish surname would be Kowalski, but that is ending for a guy. A girl would be called Kowalska, not Kowalski. But if you were born in the States, you're probably gonna be still called Kowalski. And for a Polish person, it just sounds really wrong. It's just wrong. There's 17 ways to say number 2 in Polish. Very unnecessary. The best vodka in the world is Polish. It's called Belvedere and it's made here in Poland in a town called Zachęta. So the buildings right behind me are part of University of Warsaw, and an interesting fact is that the oldest university in all of Europe is actually located here in Poland. It's Uniwersytet Jagielloński and it was founded in 1364. And another interesting fact is that universities, higher education in Poland is free. Risking it all and putting my camera random places. The biggest castle in the whole entire world is located in Poland and it's called Malbork Castle. I've noticed that for some reason a lot of people tend to think that Poland is cold, like always cold all year round, which is not true. The winters are really cold, but then the summer is actually really warm. 30 Celsius degrees is like a pretty typical temperature here during the summer. Polish donuts are round and they don't have a hole. And we actually have a special day. It's called Tłusty Czwartek, direct translation Fat Thursday, and it's a day when we celebrate donuts in Poland. And it's actually a really big deal here. Like everyone eats donuts on that day. There are lines of like 100 people. Okay, there are people getting off the bus. I have to run because they're gonna think I'm a weirdo. Swear to God, everyone in Poland eats donuts on that particular day, and there are lines of like hundreds of people waiting for the best donuts in town, which is kind of crazy. But you know, a lot of people in Poland celebrate name day, myself included, and there are actually some parts in Poland where people consider name day to be more important than birthday, and name day is basically like a birthday of your name. So everyone else who has the same name as you has name day on the same day. For example, in my family, basically everyone celebrates name day. We always did it, and we sort of celebrate it in the same way we would celebrate birthday, just a little smaller maybe, but we would still get together, we would still give each other some small gift. And whenever I would be like abroad somewhere, I would still celebrate my name day, and everyone would basically always be like, you're just kind of using it as an excuse to celebrate yourself twice a year. And you know what, that's true. That's pretty accurate actually. There are 40 million people living in Poland, which means that Poland is basically the 5th biggest country in European Union, and apparently there are about 20 million Polish passport holders living outside of Poland. I used to be one of them. I'm not anymore. This is where we're heading, the art gallery that I told you about. I haven't been to any art gallery in like more than a year, probably even longer, I don't know. When I used to live in Paris, I would basically go like all the time, and I kind of miss it. Whenever I go to an art gallery, my first reaction is always like, what the fuck, why am I here looking at these weird objects? But as I calm down, I kind of start appreciating the experience on all these like weird objects, aka art, for what it really is. It's almost like a form of meditation for me. That's why I kind of enjoy going to art galleries alone or with like a really good friend that I kind of see a lot, so we don't really talk that much. Yeah, it's kind of good to just be quiet for a while and just think, basically. Oh my god, I was talking and I almost missed this. Just look at this. Okay, so I'm back home, but I still have a couple of random facts to share with you guys about Poland. In Poland, we believe that Santa Claus doesn't come on Christmas. He comes on the 6th of December at night. However, keep in mind that he only comes when your mom is home. It might sound kind of crazy for some of you, but I did get asked a couple of times if we have our own language in Poland or if we speak Russian. So the answer is yes, we do have our own language and it's called Polish. We do not speak Russian. Russian is not a language taught or used in Poland. I mean, maybe some people learn it, but you know, it's not like we learn that at school. And the most similar languages to Polish are actually Ukrainian and Slovak. Despite the fact that Poland is part of the European Union, we have our own currency here and it's called Polish zloty. We do not use euro. The most traditional Polish dish are probably Polish dumplings. In Polish they're called pierogi, and this is how they look. They're really good. Poland is the biggest exporter of amber in the whole entire world. Poland is also the third biggest exporter of beer, right after Germany and UK. Only about 25% of Polish people live in big cities, which is actually not that much in general if you compare it to other countries in Europe. Poland was the second country after US which adopted written constitution, and it happened in 1791. It's a popular Polish tradition to make these huge like human-sized dolls at the end of winter. They're called marzanna, and drown them in like rivers and lakes and places like that when the spring begins, so to sort of like celebrate end of winter and beginning of spring. Frederick Chopin is Polish. Some people think he's French, but that's actually not true. His dad was French, his mom was Polish, but he was born and raised here in Poland. Poland has very diverse nature. We have around 800 kilometers of seashore, and the highest mountain in Poland is 2,500 meters tall. The oldest restaurant in Europe is located in Poland, in Warsaw, which is actually the city where I was born. The restaurant is called Piwnica Świdnicka and it was built in 1275. That's insane. And I actually haven't been there. That's also insane. Why haven't I been there? The biggest city in Poland is Warsaw. The population is approximately 3 million people. And during the war, approximately 85% of Warsaw was destroyed. So basically the whole city is like rebuilt. Polish people eat a lot of mushrooms. We really do like our mushrooms here. And since we do have a lot of forest, mushroom picking is actually like a really popular activity. And unfortunately every year you do hear a lot in the news stories about people picking the wrong mushrooms and eating them and getting sick or sometimes even passing away. That happens like literally every single year. We also do eat a lot of cheese in Poland, and we even have our own like traditional Polish cheese, oscypek, or white Polish cheese. Like, I tried to look up the name of this cheese, and honestly, like, I feel like we don't even have a name for this cheese. Whenever I would refer to it, I would just call it like Polish white cheese, and it has a very distinguished flavor. It's different to anything else I've ever eaten before, and honestly, I think like Polish white cheese is one of the best foods out there. Let me know if you guys know any other random shit about Poland that I haven't talked about in this video. And also, if you're interested in random stuff, random facts about China, check out my video. I'll link it here. I made a similar video about China, and my plan is to maybe make it about all countries that I've lived in. I also lived in Denmark, France, and Thailand. So let me know if you'd be interested in a video like that. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you liked it, and I hopefully see you soon. Bye.